let's explore how to create user roles to customize your workflow with additional data verification stages. We'll get started here in the project setup station. We'll click on Project Properties, and then we'll move over to the Workflow tab. And we'll change the schema from Simple to Advanced. In the Advanced mode, complex workflow schemas can be configured. In this mode, it is possible to modify settings of base, or otherwise known as default stages, as well as create custom stages and include them in the overall processing schema. Separate verification stages for the contracts and prices document definitions, as well as for customer questionnaires, will both be created. First, a new stage for contracts and prices verification will be created. We'll highlight the data verification stage, and then we'll click the Add Stage icon. And we see that data verification is highlighted. And we can use the wizard to make other settings for adding this custom stage. But you can see that we could have added a custom stage based on a verification stage or an export confirmation stage. We can select which document definitions this stage will work with. We have this restrict set of document definitions being used dialog box. I'll just select that and select prices and contracts. We can get even more granular and select which fields will be active for a given stage. All the fields can be selected, or just a subset of the fields can be selected. And then, once configured, only these fields will be available for verification within the new stage. If an operator needs to be restricted to seeing only the fields he is assigned to verified during data verification, an additional setting is needed. You can select the Hide the Page Image outside of the selected fields option to make sure that the operator is restricted to only seeing the assigned fields. As a result, the operator will truly only be able to see the fields allowed, and this will give higher data protection in case of distributed verification by people with different permissions. So one use case could be letting operators process Social Security numbers, and we could have 3 different verification stages. One stage will verify only the first 3 characters. The next verification stage and the assigned groups of folks would do the middle 2 characters, and the last would do the last 4 characters of the Social Security number. And by selecting the Hide Page Image outside selected fields option, no single operator can piece together the entire Social Security number. That's really a powerful capability. On the entry conditions, we can have documents enter always or never. If you select never, that will still allow ad hoc routing. So someone could still manually route to a different queue. And then you can select under certain conditions, and you can add a rule. One rule that I've put together is very simple. For invoices, I simply specify the total field of an invoice, and I'll route invoices that have a value of over $20,000 to a certain queue. That's a pretty easy rule to put together. Going just a step further, to look at that kind of rule, we could say that a field value satisfies an expression. And then you could choose a field such as a total amount, and then say that that amount actually is going to have a value equal to or greater than a certain threshold amount. Then you can specify the next stage for the document on the Exit Routes tab. You can also specify conditions that determine whether documents should be processed on other stages. And we have a Roles tab where we can create a new special role that will work only on this custom verification stage. So we have the ability to create granular roles and assign these roles where we need to, and to just be able to do certain verification tasks. We are naming this as the Custom Contracts and Prices Verifier role, and it's very easy to set up. And when I click OK here, we can see this stage. And actually, I need to rename it. So I'll go ahead and edit and name this stage appropriately. Now, in this interface, I have the ability to move stages up and down as needed, so that they occur in the proper locations in the verification workflow. Another type of stage that I could add would be a scripted stage, where script executes. And it's very important that I be able to put that execution event exactly where on the workflow it should fire off.